So what I've got right here is an Azure portal, and I happen to have a couple of virtual machines that are up and running inside my subscription. And if I pop up and choose Copilot in the top right corner, that's actually Azure Copilot, chat interface to be able to interface and work with my resources inside of Azure. And just out of the blue, I'm saying here, what activities can I perform on these virtual machines? Now, note this, not specific, very general. And it's going to go in and take the context of the window and my security principles and determine that these are the machines that I'm talking about. But before it does, it's going to confirm.
Right.
Good.
So I like that if I don't know what I can do with it, I can actually ask it and say, what capabilities do you have that I can use? But I must admit, I'm a little bit scared about the power you have in your hands here, Rick, because you've probably got quite high permission levels to the subscription.
Right.
So let's see how much havoc you can wreak through Copilot.
Okay, so as you mentioned, it went into the documentation and found these are what you can do to virtual machines. So I'm going to choose, let's stop and deallocate all virtual machines.
What?
That's the scary part.
Like all in the subscription, all?
Well, the good thing is Copilot's going to think about that, have the same level of responsibility that Sonia has, and it's going to say, hey, wait, confirm this please for me. So this way, it's going to come in and again, use the context of the window, the context of what I as a user have access to be able to do in the subscription. I can't pause and delete all the machines in Asia Pacific. It's only the ones that I have access to, and then even more so, it looks and sees what's on the screen and then says, hey, are these the ones you're talking about? Okay. I'm going to confirm. Human in the middle to be able to go off and do something as far as an action is concerned. Okay, great. So it's going to go ahead, it's executed the command. Let's actually see if it did the correct thing. So I'm going to say, what is the current status of these machines? And in this case, it's going to, once again, not have the full context of which machines I'm talking about. It's going to assume it's talking about these two, and then it's going to come back, determine this is the state, because it's a non-impactful action I'm asking. I'm just looking for a status update. Yeah. It comes back and says, hey, what? They're deallocated. So
I like that it shows that Azure Resource Graph query that it's actually using as well. So it's actually showing me a little bit behind the scenes of how it's doing what it's doing.
You got it. And so here I'm going to go in and say, you know what? Let's actually start both of those machines back up again. So once again, context-wise, it looks to see what's on the screen. It goes ahead and issues the result. I've confirmed that these are the machines I'm looking for, and boom, it goes ahead and starts these machines. So let's break this down.
Okay.
This basically is, as I mentioned, the first iteration of what we make available right now as Copilots for Azure. And in this environment right now, it always works safety under the context of the person issuing the commands. Yep. So it can't go and wipe out everything across the entire subscription.
Good to know.
And we're looking at it both, as you called out, from an educational perspective, what can I do, how do I do it, as well as a take action perspective of do something, but before I do, if it's invasive or potentially destructive, it's going to ask you first. So we've got a lot of guardrails in place for how this particular thing sets up.
So I was thinking about how you might use that with a help desk. So if you've got like a first level support of IT troubleshooting, you might give them permission so that they can do things like their status checks. But with our role-based access control, they don't have permission to even attempt some of the more dangerous maneuvers. But even if they did, you know, if they've got those locked down permissions, Copilot's not going to action anything outside of those security boundaries. But not only that, I don't have to teach them how to use the portal.
Right.
So I don't need to teach them about how to find the virtual machine, which buttons to press and boxes to tick. They can use that natural language through Copilot to do things like that first level of troubleshooting, like is this machine actually currently running or not?
Even going back one additional step, because this is available in public preview right now, you actually have to enable the ability to use Azure Copilot in the first place.
So it's not on by default?
It's not on by default.
Okay.
You have to go and turn it on, and that gives you the prompt chat mode version on like V1, if you will, that we talked about back at Microsoft Ignite in 2025. Yeah. And the other thing you have to worry about with that is it's not open to everybody. You can choose to make it open to all users of the portal inside your subscription, but what we recommend is you go in first and put up some additional guardrails, like you mentioned, with role-based access, and choose who can actually go and use this interface to be able to go and do it. You could open this up to your auditors, and they will only have access to read-only access to all the resources, as an example, for doing their FinOps checks or looking at the resources that are available. or you could open it up to the IT admin staff or the help desk staff, like you mentioned. They're always going to be under the safety of the constrictions of what they can do inside the subscription. Yes. So this is what I would call our first level of just dipping the toe inside of AI and integrating it into how we use our skills and our existing knowledge to interface and to work with, in this case, an Azure infrastructure environment to go off and manage our systems.
Yeah, and I like that we're starting at the beginning, starting with some of the basics of those first levels of troubleshooting that you need before we get into the deeper realms of the more complicated stuff that we can do with it.
You got it.